How do I 23M convince my mom 50F that her boyfriend is a piece of shit? I truly dislike the guy, and the only reason I haven't moved out of this house yet is because I don't trust him around my sister, who is 17, turns 18 this summer, and heads off to college a million miles away, where I won't have to worry about some 50-yo bum perving on her. My dad died when I was about 14. Mom didn't start dating until I graduated college last year, and by the end of summer 2023, he had moved in our house. I'm her brother and an electrical engineer, and have worked full-time since I graduated last year. I am actively saving to move out, but have delayed moving out as I don't trust him. Just to clarify, as some of the comments indicate that that's not clear, he is unemployed, contributes to absolutely nothing, and stays home all day watching MLB and NBA highlights. He is such a fucking bum. The only reason I haven't moved out is because I have my suspicions about him. I don't like the way I've caught him looking at my sister at her track meets, and he has demanded hug or kisses from her on occasion, which she has refused every time. He speaks awfully to her, implying that she is less marriageable because I do more cooking than my sister. My sister is still in a very rigorous private H's, where my mom works, is in 6 AP courses, plus a million extracurricular activities. By the time she gets home, all that girl wants to do is go to sleep. He has also watched porn on the desktop in my office at home. I know it was him because he left it open. He is also very inconsiderate and obnoxious. When I wanted to watch the game or something else in my office after work, sometimes he would be in there and would refuse to move. We've literally gotten into a fight, and my mom told me to just watch my program in the basement. I told her, the gall of him to park his big, lazy backside, and put his feet up in my office like he pays bills in this house, and the gall of you to defend this nonsense. I know he doesn't because my mom and I pay all the bills, and when I've asked her if he contributes, she has said that he has had such a hard time finding work lately, which is a way to nicely say no. Shortly after he moved in, she had a big out-of-state track meet last summer, and my sister came to the stands to get something from my mom. I was wondering if I was tripping because I'm like, is he just noticing her walking past, or is he checking her out? I watched him as groups of teenage girls filed in and out of our section in their uniforms, and my conclusion was that it wasn't a one-off, and he was, in fact, looking at her as well as the other girls there inappropriately. When I noticed it after a bit, I said, "Dude, seriously? They're like a third of your age." His response to me was, "What? They're the ones doing the catwalk up and down like that. They know people are looking." I told my mom this when we got home, and she told me that I just didn't want to give him a chance, that I just missed my dad. I really wanted to move out, but did not feel comfortable moving out and leaving my sister there with someone who had so shamelessly and openly perved on a bunch of teenage girls. When we would go to church together, he would fuss about her refusing to hug him at the sign of peace. I started sitting between them so that wouldn't even be an issue anymore. Like, I became very militant about it to the point that I would stop her from going in the pew immediately after him so that I could be sure he wouldn't be sitting next to her. One day, I couldn't take it anymore and asked her if he had ever been directly inappropriate with her in any way with her, physical, verbal, or otherwise. She said no, but he does make her uncomfortable, but she didn't know if she was blowing it out of proportion. I explained to her that I've noticed it too, and that I didn't like it. I just wanted her to know that she wasn't imagining that he was being inappropriate and creepy. She's received an appointment to Yusufa. She wants to be a pilot, and he was so dismissive. He asked her if she knew what percentage of women actually made it to pilot training out of Yusufa, and I responded to him that it didn't matter because she would be in that percentage, however small it was. Sister left the room. My mom tried to placate him a bit, but it wasn't enough. I hate people who don't know how to be happy for other people. The appointment to Yusufa makes me feel a lot better, because it gives her a lot more stability for getting out of this house. She won't ever have to come back to this house if she doesn't want to, because I plan to be long gone by the time she comes home for the holidays this year. I'm not kidding. My mom and I are going to take this kid up to Colorado in June, and my intention is to not go back home after that. I wish I could come up with a single redeemable quality that this guy has, but I think this man is leeching off of my mom for free housing and food. Every time I've mentioned it to her, she has pretty much blown me off. I know my dad would not be happy about this situation at all. I think the only reason my mom continues to entertain this situation is because with both of us approaching the stage of moving out of the house, she doesn't want to be alone, but she could do so much better than this. How do I make one final attempt at convincing her that this is all wrong?